Hey guys, what's going on? Mizu here, back with another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do a Wavedash and Chain Wavedash. This is going to be a tutorial video for those two mechanics, very useful mechanic in Rocket League. So what that actually is it looks like this. If you want to be able to learn how to do this in Rocket League and just hop around the field with some wave dashes and just mess around with some wave dashes in game, watch the rest of this video and I will show you the easy steps to be able to learn this mechanic in Rocket League, guys. All right, so here we go. Essentially, a wave dash is a mechanic in Rocket League where you flip, but you use the ground to cancel the flip animation. So essentially what that's going to look like is you're going to have the car hit its back wheels on the ground first, and then the front of the car will flip forward. So I have a replay here to show you guys actually what the wave dash will look like here. So we'll actually play the video in slow motion here. So I'll put it in 5% for you guys to show you guys from the side. So here's what's gonna happen is my back wheels are gonna touch the ground first, and the second that my back wheels touch the ground, you see the sparks, that means that I'm flipping here. So the second that my back wheels touch the ground, guys, I'm gonna be flipping forward. And what that's going to do is it's going to push my front wheels into the ground and propel me forward. So you can utilize this mechanic to generate a lot of speed without having to move very far positionally. So essentially, again, if I were to show you guys, is you're going to jump here. You're going to jump up like this. Tilt your car backwards. We'll watch it from my perspective so you guys have a good understanding. You're going to jump here, right, like this, and you're going to tilt backwards. So your back wheels are going to hit the ground first, and then you're going to flip forward right as your back wheels hit the ground, and you're going to generate speed without having to move a large distance. Now, this is very useful for not taking yourself out of position to be able to move a great distance of speed. Now, another thing you can do is you can also do this in any direction, backwards, left, right, diagonal as well. So I'm going to show you guys here is you can actually utilize this mechanic if you, instead of doing the back wheels hit the ground first, if you tilt to the left side, if you want to go right, you can actually move to the right. So the key with this mechanic is your wheels have to hit the ground in the opposite direction of where you want to move. If you want to go forward, your back wheels hit the ground first. If you want to go right, your left wheels hit the ground first. So in this situation, I'm going to be going to the right side of the field. So my left wheels are going to hit the ground first, guys. So in this situation, if we slow it down, you see how I tilted to the left here? My left wheels are going to hit the ground, and the second they do, I'm flipping to the right, and I'm going to generate speed off to the right side. I immediately jump again to chain it, which I'm going to show you guys in a second, but you can essentially move across the field at high speeds without having to use boost or flipping around. It's called a wave dash. So you can do this backwards, forwards, or in any position really. So here I'm going to show you guys how I do it backwards in a second here in this replay. You can do it in all the directions. So you can also go backwards. So my front wheels will hit the ground first, and I'm gonna the second my front wheels hit the ground, I backflip and it will take me backwards, guys. So now that you learned how to do the mechanic in any direction, we're gonna cover some common mistakes that people make in the wave dash and how you can actually use this in game and how it can be functional for you. So you guys know the back wheels have to hit the ground first and then you flip forward, correct? Same thing if you're trying to go backwards, your front wheels and then you backflip, right? Same thing with left, same thing with right. Yeah? Okay. So we have that out of the way. What are the common mistakes that people make when executing this mechanic? One of the big common mistakes that people make is they don't realize the longer you hold the jump button, the higher you go. So you actually, this is me holding it all the way. This is me tapping it. You see the difference? This is me holding it all the way. This is me tapping it. You see the difference in height? That's one jump. Right? With a wave dash, you want to get as low to the ground as possible. So after your jump, you can execute the wave dash. You don't want it to look like this, because then you don't even have your flip anymore. It takes too long. So what you want to do when doing a wave dash is X or A, whichever it is on your controller, PS4 or Xbox accordingly, is you want to tap the X or A button really fast so you don't jump very high off the ground. Once you do this, then execute the mechanic for the wave dash, and you'll notice that you'll stay a lot closer to the ground. You can execute the mechanic quicker. That's the #1 mistake I see people making when trying to execute this mechanic. The #2 mistake I see people making is when they try to execute this mechanic sideways, they don't realize that you have to hold power slide. So if I try to do this mechanic sideways like this, guys, I stop. But if I hold power slide, because I'm sideways and my momentum can't go forward, it can only go sideways and my wheels aren't facing that way. If I hold power slide like this, I would just continue to go, right? So if you're trying to do this mechanic sideways, you have to hold power slide. It's the number 2 mistake I see people making when trying to execute this mechanic. Now, the third mistake I see people making, this is the most common mistake when trying to do a Wavedash in Rocket League and trying to chain them together. This is the most advanced part and it's hard to understand, but if you do grasp this concept, you will be able to flawlessly pull off Wavedashes and chain Wavedashes in Rocket League. So make sure to watch this part very carefully. You might have to replay the video a couple times. Really make sure you understand this part, okay, guys? So the last part about chain Wavedashing that you really need to understand is you jump once to execute the mechanic like this and jump a second time to land the mechanic, right? But instead of jumping once and flipping, what we're going to do is we're going to jump once, and then as we flip, we're going to pretend we have a double jump of sorts. What I mean by that is as you're going to do the flip down, instead of pressing X once, you're going to press X twice. Now what this does is as you press X or A on Xbox, as you press X or A, as you're flipping into the ground, because the flip comes right away, if you press it twice, you're going to immediately jump after you hit the ground, meaning you're already going to be in the air after generating speed. Now what this does is it turns a Wavedash from looking like this, jump, flip, flip, it's gonna turn that into this. See guys how I'm pressing the X button twice? You can see in the controller overlay how I'm pressing it twice here, guys. You can see how I immediately jump after hitting the ground. What that does is you want to press X twice when you try to flip, and that's going to push you up into the air the second you hit the ground, or A on Xbox. You're going to go up into the air the second you hit the ground, and it's going to allow you to jump twice. Now make sure you're tapping the button very fast so you don't stay off the ground, and this is the most important part for when you do it sideways especially. You have to double jump. So you go like this. You want to double jump literally the second you flip, you're pressing it again. You want to do it twice. That way you can jump the second you hit the ground, and it will allow you to get your Wavedashes consecutively and fast. And if you can practice jumping low to the ground by pressing the button fast, you'll be able to hit the ground a lot quicker and consistently than you ever did before. So again, guys, make sure not to jump too high. Press the button very quickly. Press it twice as you go to do your flip, and you're immediately going to jump again. If only you're trying to do the chain version, only press it once if you're just trying to do it once to generate some speed. This mechanic is very useful in recoveries when you're trying to get back into position like this. It's also very useful off the wall. You can Wavedash off the wall and do a flip, and you're already supersonic at any point. So whenever you're jumping off the wall, you can jump off the wall and do a Wavedash. It's very useful for speed. This mechanic is very solid. I do recommend you guys spend 30 minutes a day for about a week. Learn this mechanic, get it down. It will definitely help you out in your games. That's all for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave it down in the comments below, and I'll get to those for you guys. I will see you guys in the next video. See you for now.